today's video. We are going to continue with our discussion of the 5 pillars of Islam, and we are going to talk about the 4th pillar, which is fasting, Sawm. And this is a very important one. Muslims could fast throughout the year, different times, at certain important holidays in the Islamic calendar. But perhaps the most well-known of all the fasts that a Muslim person does is the fasting during the month of Ramadan, which is the holiest month in Islam. It's very important to fast during this time. It is known of the benefits of fasting, and it's one of the commandments, one of the instructions that has been given to the Muslims, as also has been given to other previous religions and spiritualities before Islam. In fact, the Quran states in Surah number 2 in verse 183 the following, and I quote, "Fasting is ordained for you as it was ordained for those before you, so that you might remain conscious of God." And this is one of the key components or important aspects of fasting in Islam, is to remain conscious of God. Why? Because when a person is fasting, first of all, is doing it for a transcendental aspect, a spiritual aspect, which is in connection with the divinity. The person is trying to connect himself or herself with God. The person is trying to purify himself spiritually. And also when you fast, which in this case in Islam is an abstention from eating and drinking or any sexual relations during the daylight, then this time of course you will be hungry, you will be thirsty. And also this kind of this way of fasting is indication that you are dependent of God's mercy. You are being conscious that whatever you have, whatever food, whatever blessing, whatever sustenance comes from God. And when you fast, you are remembering that all that you have comes from God. And now you remember because the stomach will remind you. And if you have food, then you have to be thankful. And this is another of the benefits of fasting. It will makes you be conscious, reminding that God gives you. And if He gives you, you have to thank Him every time, every day, for whatever food that you have, for whatever blessing that is in your life. And this is one of the important components and objectives of why fasting has been instructed to the believers throughout time. The person is really conscious that whatever blessings, not because of my effort, it's because of the blessings of God. God blesses, yeah, of course we have to do, but it's because of the blessing and the mercy of God. That's why He's known as the merciful one. And fasting reminds the Muslim person of this, reminding God all the time, being connected with Him, going to the community, to the masjid. There are communal prayers. The person also, during the month of Ramadan, which could last 29, 30 days, depends, the person engages in certain special prayers. Also, you could break the fast with the community, with your family. There's a spiritual ambient. Also, is a month in which the Muslim person is reading the Quran, is trying to purify himself or herself. It's a month in which by fasting you learn discipline. You learn how to control your natural or animal instincts, and you are able to sacrifice your own natural pleasures for the sake of God, for the sake of purifying your soul, for looking that connection with the divinity. And also it's a way of having empathy for those who are in need, for the homeless people, for those who are hungry. And you are now in the same position. You can feel and understand those who around the world perhaps are homeless or are going through disasters, earthquakes, refugees, and they could go hungry and they go through difficulties. Now, because you are in the same situation, you are able to understand your brothers, your sisters, or any other human being on earth, and you are able to show empathy, to be able to help them, and to always be conscious that is God who sustains. And in the same way, during the month of Ramadan, a Muslim person must engage in acts of piety, in acts of charity, giving food to the poor people. Perhaps if, let's say, a pregnant woman or elderly or someone who is sick cannot fast, he can make it up by doing this, by giving food to the poor people, or giving money for charity, and or maybe he can make it up at another time. But there is a whole purpose for it, and it is sad that sometimes many people miss the point of fasting and all of this state of consciousness and meditation during the month of Ramadan especially, and they just spend the whole day complaining that they're hungry or they're thirsty, and they're just waiting for the fast to end, and then they start eating and eating and eating and food and food and food, like if they're trying to make up all the food and the drink that they couldn't have during the day. Then at night it's just a night of consumption and entertainment, and missing the point, because the whole month is a month of meditation. It's a month of reflection, perfectioning. It's like the Prophet Muhammad said in one occasion, there are many people who don't get anything from fasting besides being hungry and thirsty. They miss the spiritual point, which is, what is the benefits that fasting will bring into my life? It's not the externality of I have to fast because that's what a Muslim person do. No, it's like this fasting is a tool for achieving a purpose. Okay, what is that purpose? We already spoken about. Bring peace, perfect your character, get into more prayer, connect more with God, with your fellow brothers and sisters, human beings, be kind. Don't get angry during that month. Refrain, abstain yourself, discipline. It's all being like I quoted from the Quran, always being conscious with the divinity. It's not people who only think about like, oh God, I have to fast today. Oh my God, I'm gonna be hungry so many hours because fasting starts previous sunrise, meaning around the beginning of Fajr, which is the first prayer, and ends after in the afternoon at the beginning of Maghrib, which is one of the afternoon prayers. And then many people think, oh my God, so many hours I'll be hungry and this and that, and they miss the point that it's a time for introspection, examining yourself spiritually. If you think that I will fast for people to see that I fast, or that I am a Muslim, or I have to do it because I have to, no, then you are not getting any benefit from it. You're just looking in the external part. Is, for example, imagine that a very important person, the president of a country or someone who is very important for you, wants to give you a gift. He wants to reward you because you have done many good deeds. And imagine that this important person, imagine the president or the king of a country, he will give you this reward in front of many people, will recognize you such an excellent person, such a perfect character, so much love for the country, etc. And the person provides for you different cars. And the cars will take you to the place where the president is, such important person that will give you the reward. Now, the objective of this car is to take you there for you to get the reward. If you take the car to go to the beach or to go on a trip, the car is not fulfilling the purpose. The purpose is not the car. The car is not the most important part. The car, yeah, it's important, it's a tool, but the reward, you will get the reward there. The same with fasting. Fasting in itself is not the most important thing. It's important because it's a tool, But the most important part is the reward that you will get from doing fasting, for engaging in the other activities that you, during the month of Ramadan, that fasting will enforce and strengthen, and you will get a merit before God. And that's why it's not about being hungry or thirsty. It's that what benefit can I get from following this instruction? This is the important aspect, the benefits of it. And not to mention that many doctors talk about benefits for the health, cleaning the body, your soul, spiritually. It's not fasting, it's the benefits. Fasting is the tool. But my point is, of course, yeah, you have to do fasting, but you have to be conscious. The intention is what is important. It's not having the attitude like the Prophet said. Like some people just get hungry and thirsty. No. If you miss the point, which is the benefit, the rewards, how will draw you closer towards God, towards your brother, sister, the community, empathy. And sadly, even now, the industry of entertainment and the big change of food and markets and this, they know of Ramadan and fasting, and now they sell what they call Ramadan products, and they are selling and consumption and restaurants, and then at night series and novels and movies, and that is it's all the industry of making money from this. And then many people, when the fast ends, they spend the night like I just mentioned, eating like they haven't eaten the whole day. They have to eat a lot and drink a lot and enjoy and entertainment and this. That's not the point. There's a whole month of introspection. If you do that at night, like Imam al-Ghazali said, what's the point? Imam al-Ghazali in his book, The Beginnings of Guidance, he explained these points. If this is what you do at night, you're missing the point of Ramadan, fasting, everything. Because many people then just spend the month like this, hungry, and then at night eating like a lot and entertainment and missing the spiritual aspect. It's a whole month of discipline. Before fasting, you are examining yourself. During the fasting time also, and after the fasting, you have to keep discipline, meditation, and it's a whole month of spirituality. And again, fasting is one of the tools, this special time, the most, and especially even in the community, in the masjid, many people, especially the last 5 days, some people said 10 days, depends, but the last 5 days, waiting for what we known as the night of power, Laylat al-Qadr. Many people even spend the nights in the masjid praying. So it's very important moment. So don't miss the point of fasting at such an important time. Be conscious of it, the benefits of it. Don't concentrate on the external aspect, hungry or thirst. No. Look for what's the reason why God has commanded this. There's a reason for it. Look for the meaningful part of it, and for sure you will get many benefits from obeying, because it's a obligatory pillar in Islam, unless, like I explained, unless you are pregnant and could be in danger for your health, or elderly or sick or something, but it's obligatory for the people who are able to do it. As always, I want to thank you so much for your attention. God willing, we'll continue in the next video with the fifth and last pillar of Islam in this series of discussion regarding such important aspects in the faith and the practice of a Muslim believer. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.